Hey, this is Ralph for the Prineville Chess Club. I feel like playing a little bit of 10-0 Rapid, so I'm going to go ahead and start up a game. Okay, we've got black against d4. I'm going to go with knight f6, the Indian game. My opponent is contemplating their move. So even though we often want to take control of the center early, the Indian game is black. Most of our development is off to the side, and we castle quickly, and white often is able to get a strong center. I'm going to challenge their center. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a center pawn with my side pawn, flank pawn. Let's prepare a potential pawn fork. Okay, attacking the bishop and the knight. Okay, they're going to throw in a check. Do I care? I don't. I'm going to block with my bishop, though. That way I can maintain the structure here. Yeah, develop my knight. The fork still exists. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take. Okay. Opponent wants to trade down. I'm going to go ahead and take this pawn. Now I can't castle at the moment because the queen is blocking my castling range. Now I could throw in a check. I'm actually ready to challenge their queen. Got a 2-point advantage. Yeah, I'm going to bring my queen out with check. And then I think I'm going to move right over here and offer a trade of queens. And this is technically a fork. I'm threatening to take a pawn, threatening to take a queen, so I guess they're not completely obligated to take. Well, they really are. What can they do? Now I can throw in a check. Now it is dangerous having my queen lined up with my king like this, so I'm quickly going to move aside. Okay, they're going to block. That seems good for me. I'll offer another queen trade. Yeah, so in this game, neither me nor my opponent have castled, so our kings are pretty exposed, which is not the best of play. But I think I've been able to take advantage of mistakes my opponent has made. And obviously, if there's free pawns to take or great attacking forks to take, let's see. Can I force the trade any better? Gosh, if I bring my knight up here, I can start to threaten. It won't threaten mate, but let's try this. Let's block this diagonal. They could go here to threaten this pawn. And part of me might let them do that. I might castle anyway. If they threaten that pawn, I castle. They take. My rooks are going to be connected. And so I can bring another rook over. All right, I'm going to go for it. My two knights are protecting each other, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, they're not going to go for that pawn. So, that seems fine for me. I'll just start pushing on this side. Again, my knights are protecting each other. Looks like I do have opportunities to go over here and check, take out a pawn, but I don't know if I'm too worried about taking out the pawns on the king side. My king is feeling pretty darn safe, and so I think I want to keep moving with this attack. They're not really targeting anything here. I could develop this knight with tempo, attacking their queen. I'm going to continue to push. This is an interesting square for me here, c4, because it could potentially fork their knight and their pawn. If we get that queen to move. Okay, doesn't do that at the moment. Yeah, let's challenge this queen. Let's see what this is. This queen looking to go over here? Okay, it is. Am I bothered by it? I don't know if I'm really bothered by that. Knight down here looks pretty good for me. Yeah. If they take, I'll take back with my h-pawn. I think I'm fine with that. Now that this knight is here, if they don't move their knight or take my knight, now this move has a lot more weight because I'd be double attacking their knight, my queen to c4 move. That would let me get up here. Okay, I'm going to take with the h-pawn, all part of the plan. Yeah, so we're even on pawns. 3-2 on the king side, 3-2 on the 2-3 on the queen side. My rooks feel a little bit more easily active, although they do have this open D file. Oh, that's just a blunder of a queen. I don't know what they're thinking there. Okay. Um, yeah, so, oh, and they're going to keep playing on. All right. There we go. Okay, yeah, we'll thank the opponent for the game, though, so... Thanks for the game. Freepa, if I can spell it. There we go. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and click Game Review. I think this one should have a pretty good-looking line graph for black. And if I made any mistakes, I can't imagine that they hurt me too much. Okay, well, only 78% accuracy. Okay, not stellar, but not too bad. Looks like I did have a miss in there, but no blunders and no mistakes, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so obviously a miss. I had a better move at some point. And in fact, if I look at my line graph, yeah, it looks like I did have a -3 advantage, which is good for black. But then, and maybe that's my miss, or, I don't have any mistakes on there. But yeah, I let it go to even. So yeah, relatively early in the game, I missed something pretty glaring, I guess. Beyond that, though, once we got recovered, it's a nice, steady improvement for black, doing really well. So it looks like we just have to look at the beginning of this game. Now, you can click on this, and that'll take you right to that part of the game. I'm not going to look at the engine line, but I'm going to use my arrow keys just to back up a little bit here. Yeah, so they didn't like my my pawn d6 move, even though that was kind of like the catalyst for my e5 move with the fork. So basically, I had something better already. Yeah, so if that's a miss, obviously I've got developing moves. But if I want to focus on checks, captures, and threats, really a top move that comes to mind is bringing the queen out for a check. But I don't know. I'm not threatening or forking any of their pieces with my queen. So that doesn't seem that exciting. It looks like it would potentially promote or encourage their development, so I don't want to do that. So I'm not really optimistic that Queen A5 is the move, even though that leads to a check. That is the only check that I've got. I don't seem to have any captures. Now, I suppose if not Queen A5, there's something about maybe Queen B6 can be kind of interesting. Queen B6 adds pressure to that knight, but it also adds pressure to this undefended pawn. So white is going to have to react to that Queen B6 move. Depending on how they react, that may open me up for a potential knight move to target this F2 square. My route would be blocked by their knight, but maybe Queen B6 is the way to go. Let me jump over to the analysis board. I don't even see where my engine lines are. Okay, so we're on analysis. And interesting. So E5 is the best move. D6, which I did, is the second best move. So D6 even though it helps support that fork, in theory, it wasn't necessary. I could have gone right into an e5. So let me get rid of those lines. e5. Okay. I don't know if I agree with this, but I think I see where they're going here. So imagine this. In fact, we can just do it right here. e5, bishop would be compelled to take, and then I would have the queen a5 check. Yep, queen a5 check is the follow-up move, because I'm obviously checking the king, and I can go after the bishop. Okay, what are they going to do to protect their king? Maybe they will block. Actually, maybe they'll block with a. Yeah, maybe they'll block with the knight, and then I can do queen e5, grabbing that bishop. Queen takes e5. Now this does put me up 2 points of material, which is what the other move did as well, the forking method. But this one really maintains that -3+ advantage for black. So I'm not bothered that I missed this move. Well, I'm not completely bothered that I missed that move, but I also had plenty of time, so it's kind of an interesting outpost. And of course, once my queen is out, yeah, I can develop this bishop, do these squares, pin a knight, increase the pressure in the center. Yeah, it does seem pretty good, but it's hard for me to understand a little bit why e5 is so much better than d6. Now, e5 does allow me to more easily develop my bishop, so maybe that's what they're going for. Although with my series of moves, they could have gone knight b3. Ah, yeah. Okay. They could have gotten their knight out. So this move was there to prepare for a fork, and white could easily have avoided that. e5 is still a top move. Maybe not the best, but still a very good move. So otherwise, we're just still playing chess here. Okay. So I think I've got it. e5 is a more forcing move. e5, white has to respond. They are being forked, and in order to protect both of their pieces, they need to take, which of course right away puts their bishop in danger. However they respond to this, this gives me the advantage with surety as opposed to potentially. Okay, pretty good game, and I think that's a good takeaway for it. Take care.